Welcome back to a Story Tale and get ready for the heartwarming final episode of our story. True and loyal friend, Lucky. One morning, Vicky's parents sat down together, their faces serious but full of understanding. They had watched Lucky's quiet sadness and longing looks, and they knew they had to make a very important decision. They finally understood that a loving home wasn't just about a soft bed and plenty of food. A true home is where your heart feels completely at peace, where it feels whole. They knew deep down that Lucky's heart wasn't with them. It was somewhere else, with someone else. So with a shared, silent agreement, they walked to the front door, their steps heavy but resolved. They opened it wide, a gentle invitation for Lucky to follow his heart. At first, Lucky just stood there, looking from the open door to their kind faces, a question in his big brown eyes. Then, a faint but familiar scent drifted in on the breeze. It was a smell he knew better than any other, the one that was etched into his memory. His ears perked up, his tail gave a hopeful twitch, and then, without a moment's hesitation, he was off. He bolted out the door, his paws thudding against the pavement as he followed the invisible trail. His heart pounded with excitement, a wild drumbeat of hope and anticipation. He ran faster and faster, a golden blur of pure instinct and love, his entire being focused on one single destination. Vicky's parents watched him go, a mix of sadness and relief washing over them. They couldn't just let him disappear. They needed to know, to see for themselves where this journey would lead. Quietly, they got into their car and followed from a safe distance, their curiosity mixed with a growing sense of awe at the dog's determination. Lucky navigated the streets with unerring accuracy, turning corners and crossing roads as if guided by an invisible map. The scent grew stronger, pulling him forward like a rope. Finally, he skidded to a halt in front of a small, humble shack on the outskirts of town. It was the old beggar's home. The moment the old man stepped out, drawn by the sound of Lucky's joyful barks, time seemed to stand still. Their eyes met across the small yard and an explosion of pure, unfiltered joy erupted. Lucky leaped into the beggar's arms, whining and licking his face, his whole body wiggling with a happiness so intense it was almost overwhelming. The beggar hugged him tightly, tears of relief streaming down his weathered cheeks, his voice choked with emotion as he whispered Lucky's name over and over again. It was a reunion of two souls who had been torn apart, a beautiful, powerful display of a bond that transcended everything. From their car, Vicky's parents watched the scene unfold, and in that instant, they understood everything. All the puzzle pieces clicked into place. This wasn't just friendship. This was family. The deep, unconditional love radiating between the dog and the man was something they couldn't possibly replicate, no matter how much they cared for Lucky. They realized that forcing Lucky to stay with them, to live in their comfortable house, would be a form of cruelty. It would be like caging a bird that was meant to fly free. They knew, with absolute certainty, that they had to leave Lucky right where he belonged. Later that day, they sat down with their son, Vicky. It was one of the hardest conversations they ever had to have. With gentle voices and infinite patience, they explained what they had seen. They told him, "Honey, Lucky has found his true home. He doesn't want to live with us anymore, not because he doesn't like us, but because his heart belongs with his old friend." They saw the tears well up in Vicky's eyes, and their own hearts ached for him. "But this doesn't mean goodbye forever," his mother added softly. "We should let him stay where he is happiest. And whenever you miss him, whenever you want to see him, we can come and visit." Vicky, with a wisdom beyond his years, listened and slowly nodded. His little heart was heavy, but he understood. He loved Lucky enough to want him to be happy. And so, with a final tearful look back, they left Lucky with his truest friend. From that day on, Lucky and the old beggar were inseparable once more. They lived a simple but joyful life, sharing every meal, every walk, and every quiet moment. Their days were filled with the kind of love that asks for nothing in return. Because a dog never forgets the place where it receives the most love. It doesn't care about fancy houses or expensive toys. All a dog needs is a true loving heart. The moral of this story is a powerful one. Sometimes true love means having the strength to let go, to put someone else's happiness before your own. And it teaches us that unconditional love doesn't need riches or status. It only needs a sincere and loyal heart. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey with Lucky. We hope you enjoyed this story. Please subscribe to a Story Tale for more heartfelt adventures. We'll see you next time.